Yeah, so we just finished recording a live performance of Blind, and that one took a lot out of me. My voice is kind of gone, and yeah, that was tough. Well, that takes me back really to when I first made the song, because I had cried so much writing that song. I remember the day like so vividly. I came across a sample and I chopped it up. It was real fast. It was easy, and I just started writing, and immediately I felt myself go to a place that was like really uncovering some things that I was burying deep down inside of me. And to give y'all some context, like I had lost my cousin. It was about a week and a half after I had dropped Los. I was grieving, as part of the process of making my next album, which is Waiting for the Heat to Burn. And I think, I had one to grieve the loss of a family member and the suddenness of it, because he was still just a teenager, and it was pretty intense, and I was in shock, and it took me a while to kind of work through that. Um, but also I had to grieve like my awareness of some of the stuff I go through mentally and like mental health issues. I do face problems with depression and seasonal depression especially. And I don't know why, but I have always, since I was really young, had this like kind of obsession with death in a way. Like I think about my death a lot. And I think people around me can tell you that they know that. Something that's always crossing my mind. And so, on this record is me pulling out some of the darkest places in my life and kind of facing them head on. I cried so much. In a way, it really did feel freeing. Like one of the parts I loved about the record was it was, for me, in a sense, it was so gruesome. Like to say things that bluntly and that straightforward, but so dark, it was like clenching my teeth doing it. But after I got through it, man, I felt so free. When there's like a story and you can't let go, or not even a story, let's say there's like a memory, like something happened and you just get fixated on it and you can't really like stop thinking about that moment, but you don't necessarily know why that moment is so specifically important to you in your mind. But you just keep replaying that moment over and over. And, in the second verse, I talk about when I told my mom that I didn't want to live anymore. I was probably maybe I'll say 14 or something, Honestly, when you think back, it's like kind of, you just like an angsty teenager. She slapped the fuck out of me. And it's funny because when I played the album for the family for the first time, and that song came on and she had never heard it yet, but her first reaction was like, that's true as fuck, that did happen. And it did. It's like she slapped the shit out of me. It's the first time I said it. It was the last time I ever said it. I don't know. That was a very I think interesting moment for me, because in all honesty, like maybe that wasn't the best way to support a child who was having those feelings. But at the same time, like I did really have to think about, like, as hard as my life was, it's so important for me to be alive right now. And I try to hang on to that moment, like through any time that those thoughts come back to me, because I can't sit here and act like I don't have those thoughts. But I also have a constant reminder, which is that I need to live because I need to create, I need to make art, and I need to tell these stories. It's what brings us all together. It's what's important in it. I think it's like we tell stories, and we find community, we find power, we find culture through those stories. I always hung on to that story of just getting the shit slapped out of me by my mom. And finally, I had a moment where it felt right, and it came back up. And, I put that on the record, and I felt like a whole lot freer. Like I feel blind. It's a feeling, but like I have hope. Like I hope the stars shine bright as my stars, and I hope my flaws are what take me far. And I put my flaws into this record, and I think I in a sense, like I sacrificed myself by putting these thoughts out there because I was vulnerable with the world, and let y'all into kind of the shit that I'm going through mentally. Is a risk for me. It was tough, but it's so rewarding. I wanted to say, like, I hope, man, y'all, one, first and foremost, like, take care of yourselves, because I try to do that, but also, like, just create, like, make something, like, tell your story. Like, the world needs your story. I need your story. Like, I have my story, bro, but I need your story. And please, like, make things, inspire. Like, is all we have is art and love. And those two things are the same thing. Art is love. Love is art. And we need to love, we need to make art, and we need to share these moments together. And yeah, man, thank y'all for watching that live performance. And I think that's it. Peace.